So, of course, Madam Mriganshi Wilson, please kindly start.
Sure, sir. Greetings of the day, everyone. I am Dr. Migangshi Wilson, your moderator for today's program. I, on behalf of ICFI Law School, ICFI University, Dehradun, welcome you all for the special guest lecture on Indian tribes and their protected rights. I welcome Dean ICFI Law School, Professor Dr. Yugal Kishore, sir, who was the former professor, registrar, and vice chancellor at National Law University and Judicial Academy, Assam. I also welcome our academic coordinator, Mrs. Monica Karola ma'am, who has been constantly motivating and guiding the students to excel in this law profession. I welcome sir and ma'am wholeheartedly. All the participants will be on mute during the presentation. However, if you have any question during the presentation, please type them in the chat box or in the WhatsApp group. We will take them in the question answer session. Now, without further ado, let's get started. I request Dean ICFI Law School, Professor Dr. Yugal Kishore, sir, to please welcome the speaker for today's session. Over to you,
madam.
Sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mriganshi Wilson, madam. Good morning to everyone present here. Respected the keynote speaker of today's national level special guest lecture on tribal rights, Madam Ananya Trivedi ji, who is team member of Think India Tank and a very prominent member of Eklavya project working in the field of tribal rights. We are very fortunate that today, Madam, you have accepted our invitation and you are here to enlighten us with regards to the tribal rights. Further, on this behalf, I wholeheartedly welcome you and thank you for sparing your valuable time despite your very busy schedule of working with tribals and on the project Eklavya. In fact, I understand that tribal rights are a very, very important aspect of the rights. So on this occasion of national level special guest lecture on tribal right, I wholeheartedly welcome Madam Monica Karola, coordinator, and the conveners, Madam Dr. Mriganshi Wilson ji and Mr. Divakar Das ji, and my other esteemed colleagues of the university. Further, academicians and professionals, Pan-India, and dear students from Pan-India. So, today is a very important day. You can understand that we are going to discuss about the very pertinent question of tribal rights. But before I go speak about tribal rights, I'll take this opportunity to discuss something about the university as well as the law school. Because as a dean of the school, I feel that is my duty that I must tell the rankings which has come in the last few days. So as you know all very much, but of course our Ananya madam is new today. So this university, that is ICFI University, was established in the year 2003 by a act of legislature of Uttarakhand by a great educationist and institution builder, Mr. Yashasvi, and who has been from Hyderabad. And then further, from that time onwards, this university has worked very efficiently and tried to achieve the excellence in the field of quality education with various branches like law, business management, then education and technology. And then this year, we have been very fortunate that the World University ranking on real impact has been achieved by our ICFI University with 34th ranking. So we are the one of the best universities in India to get this ranking. Otherwise, others could not achieve it. We are the only one who are having 34th ranking at the world level. So I congratulate all my faculties and students on this behalf for their hard work and achieving this rank. Further, with regards to law school also, we have been emphasizing right from the beginning with Madam Monica Kharola at the helm of the affair right from that 2004 when the law school came with professional training while educating the students with regards to the quality education in law. And with the result, this year, the IIRF rank is law school ranking for the year 2021 has been awarded in the category of top national law schools of India. ICFI school rank has been ranked as 13. So IIRF ranking for ICFI law school among the top national 50 law schools is 13. Further, I would like to congratulate my faculty members as well as students also that our ranking under the CSR GHRDC law school ranking among top leading law schools of super excellence among government and private schools of India is 5th. So this is something about our ranking. You know that among the Himalayan state, last year we have been ranked as the topmost law school in India. So there are 11 Himalayan states. Among them, we were the top law school. Of course, in Uttarakhand, we are the topmost. It is even if I don't say it, it reflects. So, in fact, this year, in the academic year 2021, ICFI Law School has established 7 centers of excellence and have organized as many as more than 60 programs, in which one program was for 21 days. A number of programs were there for 7 days, and 3 days, 2 days programs were many. So in this way, in the last year, we have organized for more than 100 days the online program under our university social responsibility to educate the digital education. And for that, university has been awarded with E-Lead University. That is one of the leading university in digital education. It was awarded last year. So this year ranking has not come. So last year ranking is continuing. So this way, ICFI Law University as well as ICFI University has been doing wonderful, not only at the national level, at the international level also. And today we are very fortunate that we are going to discuss about a very important right, controversial right, rather I'll call it. That is tribal right. Yesterday, of course, you were here to visualize and hear 2 very prominent speakers on child rights, and they have spoken about the child labor right against child labor, and therein a number of propositions have come in which were very enlightening. Today, Madam is here, Madam Ananya Trivedi ji, who is a very learned keynote speaker of the day. She will be talking about the tribal rights. But before that, I will only say that despite the fact Panchashil of the Jawaharlal Nehru and the provision of Panchayat, extension of Scheduled Tribe Act 1996 have been passed. We have Article 14, 15, 16 with regards to the tribal rights. We have different articles wherein it has been said that the identity, the culture, the tradition, the value-based system, the traditional knowledge, the medicinal knowledge, and their lifestyle should be protected. And side by side, we are trying to acclimatize them in the mainstream. We are trying to assimilate them in the mainstream. And that is why there is a great controversy. In the 2006, tribals' right to the property has also come. But even then, not much has been done in order to protect the child rights. It's a fact. Madam has been working here for this reason only, so that the child rights, their identity could be protected. Sometimes, if you ask me, as a man who's been working little bit on the environmental law, I'll say, and very openly say, that the education which these tribals have, the knowledge system which these tribals have, the lifestyle which these tribals have, they are much, much, much better than we civilized people. In fact, they are responsible for protecting the nature for all along centuries together. We civilized persons have been demolishing, destructing, destroying the environment and the nature for the last 200 years. And with the result, we are finding a lot of difficulties. We have seen that coronavirus type things are there, which we do not know whether it is man-made or which is made by the nature. So these things are there. With keeping these things in mind, as I said, that tribal rights are very important, and a specialized knowledge is needed to understand these tribal rights. So with this, I'll not speak much. I know I have a very, very long-legged speaker today from whom I will learn a lot. Keeping that thing in mind, now I hand over the dais to Dr. Mriganshi Wilson.
Thank you, sir. I now request our placement officer, Mr. Devakar Das, sir, to please introduce the speaker for the day. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone. I, Devakar Das, on behalf of ICFI Law School, the ICFI University, Dehradun, welcome Ms. Ananya Trivedi. She is an executive member of Project Eklavya, Think India Tribal Rights Forum, which is continuously working for generating awareness regarding the tribal communities of India. She is an editor-in-chief, Tribal Voice, newsletter and blog by Think India Tribal Rights Forum, and initiative under Think India Tribal Rights Forum, through which spreads the knowledge regarding various tribal-related issues and the tribal cultural diversity. Today, Ms. Ananya Trivedi will be dealing with the issue of Indian tribes and their protected rights. Ma'am, we welcome you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Dean, sir, for giving a beautiful, wonderful welcome note to me. So I guess everybody is waiting for the topic to start because it's a Sunday afternoon. Everybody is busy with their own household things. So I'll quickly start it. I'll be sharing my screen for that. Okay. Okay, is my screen like quite visible?
Visible, madam.
Yeah, visible.
Yes. Okay, thank you, sir. So the topic for today is, of course, Indian tribes and their protected rights. Indian tribes have been a matter of concern for India and India's development since decades. Like, you can consider it out to be a very important factor for the development of our nation, because we all want the nation to develop, and that can only be possible when every sector of our India is developed. And one such very important sector is Indian tribes. Indian tribes actually have a lot of protected rights. Before beginning, of course, as Sir beautifully gave my introduction, I am Ananya Trivedi. I am the executive member of Project Eklavya. Project Eklavya is working towards spreading awareness related to tribal rights and tribal upliftment in various parts of India. Majorly, we have covered a lot of education institutes up till now, and I'm very grateful for this institution, ICFAI University, for granting its platform. Further, I think I'll be talking about the organization also, just giving a brief introduction of that, which is Think India is a pan-India initiative, which was actually started to connect the youth who are the change makers of the society. We are the change makers of the society, and our duty to actually talk about all these things and analyze the concept related to that, so that we can have a better progress in spheres of development of the nation, of course. And I think India, there is a forum named as Tribal Rights Forum. Tribal Rights Forum was created for the purpose of making people aware of the diverse and various tribal communities of all, aware about all the distinct tribes. There are around 645 tribal communities in India. So this forum was created for spreading awareness related to that and the issues they are actually experiencing in their day-to-day lives, so that we can actually facilitate the development in a good way. Okay, the very important question to note over here is, so let's not make it a monologue, not a session. Let's keep it an interactive talk so that each one of us can learn something out of it. Of course, you will tell me something new, I'll tell you something new. That's how it's going to be. So can anybody help me in discussing what are tribes? You can, I guess you can mention it in the chat box if you like to. But I'll be very pleased if you please drop your thoughts about what are tribes in the chat box. Jaldi, jaldi, you can do it. It's not gonna be very much time consuming. Okay. Till the time duration, you actually drop your text in the chat box that what are tribes. Tribes, in my knowledge, are basically yes, of course, there is a message in the chat box which says own language, own culture. Of course, that's true. So tribes are from different regions. Different regions have different tribes. Now, why they are called as tribes? Tribes are nothing more than just a social group living together in their own family or in their own cultural bonds. They sometimes live in their natural habitat, sometimes they migrate from one place to the other. And yes, as rightly said, that they have their own language. Every tribe need not have the same language or need not to follow the same pattern of languages which that region follows, but they can have their own language because they help them to communicate and help them to actually connect to their ancestors. And there is one more reply which is saying tribes are native people of society which are not well equipped with modern era and technologies. Okay, for that, okay, it's the thing is कि उनको वही पसंद आता है कि वो नेचर से and natural habitat से connect रहें. They like it. That's why they do it. It's not very specific that they are not connected to the modern technology. They are, a lot of tribal people are connected to the technology and modern era. There are a lot of tribal schools in India going on who actually in the times of COVID go for online education. So though they are connected, but not all of them are connected. It only depends on community to community. If they feel like that they should be connected, they will connect for sure. Next, we have in the chat box is tribes who live same custom culture. Okay, in their same custom and culture, yes, of course. Now there is a reply known as weaker section of people. Okay, the definition of weaker section is completely different for me and for you, because what we perceive as weaker sections, in their knowledge, they aren't weaker sections. They are very much equipped with those knowledge which we have no idea about. They have those medicinal technologies which you will never ever think of. They have their own family in which they treat their own diseases. There is a amazing journal, I don't remember the name. Yeah, it's International Journal of Law and Sciences, I believe. I'm not very sure about the name. It actually consists of a lot of tribal medicines, tribal plants. There have been a report by WHO which says that these all kind of tribal medicines are very effective and they can go in for treating a lot of diseases which we can never thought of. Right, so that's about the weaker section. Okay, and another message which says that they are the indigenous people. Of course, we can say so, but not very specifically. Not very specifically. You will actually understand about why I'm saying that's not very specifically in my slides soon. Another message is there. Tribes are a cluster of people who live in the natural belt and within their own custom and culture, of course. A group of people, including many families, teens, a generation, okay, they live far away from our modern society. Right, okay, fine. Fine. These are very good answers. Thank you so much for motivating me by these quality answers from you all. We'll be moving further and we'll be talking about the tribal rights which our Indian Constitution has granted. Now, while we talk about tribal rights, there are a lot of tribal rights, and I have tried my level best to conceptualize and picturize everything in this one particular slide only. So our constitution, of course, has a lot of schedules and articles. One such article which we have to talk about with respect to tribal rights is Article 14, which talks about equality before law and equal protection of law. Which means कि हर एक tribal community भी हम आपके और मेरी तरह उतनी ही इम्पोर्टेंट है, उतना ही हमको उसको इक्वल ट्रीट करना है जितना लॉ हमको करता है. Right, so that's about Article 14. Now we'll move towards Article 15. These are very conceptual articles, theoretical articles rather. You can, of course, have a read to it. And you must have had a read to it in your constitution classes, of course, if you are a law student. Then Article 15 talks about prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion, caste, sex, birthplace, or any of these factors. Okay, now this is a very important ground because discrimination is faced by tribals at a very large level because we feel that they aren't capable enough to actually come into our society and lead the way. But it's actually not that. उनको वो पता है जो हमको नहीं पता है. We are in a state that they can discriminate us, but we can't discriminate them. And of course, the Constitution protects this right that we should not discriminate anybody on any of these grounds. Next article to talk about is Article 16.4, which talks about the job reservation for tribals. Now, this is very important article. Why is important? Because if we talk about the colonial era or the time before our independence, तो उस वक्त क्या होता था कि there was a lot of discrimination happening. There was not that much of awareness regarding what a human right should be. So they were not given equal opportunities. So for that, we came up with this article, which actually reserved jobs for the tribals in various services of government or non-government. Then, yes, sir talked about the untouchability article, which is Article 17. So we'll be Article 17 is about the abolition of untouchability, that we should not practice this thing, and it should be, it should never be done to anybody, not only specific to tribals, but for anybody. Then next article is 19.5, which talks about, it talks about right to acquire and dispose of land in special interest of STs. Now there are certain tribes, कुछ tribes ऐसी हैं इंडिया में जो बहुत protected हैं अपने land को लेके, और Indian government भी equally protected है उनकी इस belief को लेके. So they have come up with this article to make sure कि we as normal citizens by I mean that who are in their tribal communities, we don't actually go into their areas and take their areas under us. Why? ताकि उनके rights, उनके interest वहाँ पे protected रहें, क्योंकि वो वहीं रहना चाहते हैं. Next article to talk about is Article 23, which talks about abolition of bonded labor. So what happens is tribal communities छोटी सी होती. It's not very necessary that they get all of their livelihood and income from there. So sometimes they practice the terminology known as migration. So they migrate from their tribal communities to the world outside. And when they go to the world outside, it can actually happen in those specific areas where their land are acquired for the purpose of national interest. But that's a different thing. We are not going to touch it over there. So here, जब वो बाहर आते हैं अपने tribal community से, वो एक चीज face करते हैं, वो कहते हैं, उस चीज को कहते हैं bonded labor. Bonded labor is a practice which we should never do. And of course, Article 23 is protecting everyone for with respect to bonded labor. Next article to talk about is Article 46. Now, Article 46 is talking about protection against social inequality and other kinds of abuse. Now, each one of us, we are in a position right now to understand what is social inequality. So this is a very basic term. I don't think so that I need to get deep into it because we have more important talks to be dealt with. Then Article 275(1), we can just give it a read to it, that the central government is required to provide granted rates to the state government for authorized tribal welfare schemes. Of course, as I mentioned, that government is very specific for any kind of tribal welfare schemes. They are actually doing their level best to make sure that they be happy in their own world, in their own areas. And for that, government is doing coming up with a lot of initiatives. You can, of course, read it by Googling. Then Article 330, which talks about reserved seats in the House of People. Yes, of course, there are certain seats reserved for tribal people who want actually to come up and represent themselves in Lok Sabha. They have certain seats reserved for them. Next article to talk about is Article 332, which talks about reservation of seats in the state legislature. Now, this is very, I won't say that this is an article which is very diverse, because every state legislature has their own mechanism and they know how much percentage they have to contribute to this particular section of the society, being tribals, for representing themselves or for quality representation. Now, the last article we have to talk about in this slide is 338, which talks about power to nominate a commissioner to oversee tribal welfare programs. So there is a commissioner granted only for talking over or actually overseeing the tribal welfare related programs. Okay, so this is it about our conceptual or theoretical basis. Now, a very practical thing we need to talk about, which is कि हम इसके बारे में बात क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why is there a need for us to talk about this? I have actually noted out certain pointers. The very first pointer is employment and occupation. अब आपको क्यों लगता है कि we have to talk about employment and occupation of tribals in our country? I can have the replies in the chat box if you can please drop it. कि हम क्यों बात करना चाहते हैं एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड ऑक्यूपेशन के बारे में? हम इसलिए बात करना चाहते हैं बिकॉज एज आई मेंशन्ड, मोस्ट ऑफ द ऑक्यूपेशन इन दीज what you say tribal areas are hunting, gathering, agriculture / urban agriculture, and some of the occupation of these kind. And tribal people सिर्फ इसके अंदर ही involved रहते हैं. But there are a lot of tribal communities जहाँ पे they feel that there is a need for them to come out from those areas and actually get employed at places outside. अब ये ट्राइबल कम्युनिटी जरूरी नहीं है कि इन आवर ओन व्हाट यू से इंडियन स्टेट्स में हो, इंडियन यूनियन टेरिटरीज में भी है. देयर इज ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज नोन एज ग्रेट अंडमानीज इन अंडमान एंड निकोबार. So these people also come out of their houses, come out of their tribal communities and go for government jobs outside, either in the state capital or wherever they have been employed. So it's not just one thing that we should talk about for employment and occupation. Employment and occupation दोनों एक साथ जाते हैं, क्योंकि ये it totally depends from one particular tribe to the other particular tribe, that how they are happy being employed and what all basic necessity they want to have in their life. Okay, the next thing to talk about is health and nutrition. Now, as I mentioned, or you must also be knowing that those tribes which live in their natural habitats, or let's say remote areas, तो remote areas में hospitals नहीं होते हैं, और होते हैं तो बहुत कम होते हैं कि everybody can't reach them and not their hospitals can reach them. ऐसा होता है, ऐसा बहुत जनरली हमको समझने को मिल जाता है. अब यू कैन ऑफ कोर्स थिंक कि अगर कोई माउंटेन रीजन्स में रह रहा है, एक लैंडस्लाइड हो गई एंड देन देयर इज अ मेडिकल इमरजेंसी, लैंडस्लाइड की वजह से वो हॉस्पिटल तक रीच नहीं कर पा रहे. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ मेजर कंसर्न फॉर हेल्थ कि जो ऑफ कोर्स दे गो फॉर देयर ओन मेडिसिन्स एंड स्टफ, बट देन देयर आर सर्टेन फैसिलिटीज व्हिच शुड बी प्रोवाइडेड टू देम फॉर देयर ओन गुड, which are of course doctors, nurses and other medical staffs whatsoever is needed. The next to talk about is nutrition. Now nutrition, if you have read about the nutrition being in specific, then there are a lot of tribal children who have been termed as malnourished. Now why they have been termed as malnourished? Because they are of not that particular weight, or let's say not particular, they are not getting that much of nutrients which they should be getting for their own development. You can search more on that, of course. Let's just because it's already 12:30, I need to wind it up very quickly. Next to talk about is concept of private property. Concept of private property, it has been guarded by various articles which we have read earlier, which we have dealt with earlier. And of course, there is land acquisition, and there have been a lot of moments, just like Narmada Bachao Andolan or the Jharkhand movement with respect to the land acquisition, which talks about the concept of private property. And of course, there has been a case law which says that every tribal woman as in tribal girl will also be getting equal rights in the property of their father. Okay, now very important thing, ये सब हुआ हमारा theoretical concept. अब बहुत practical चीज पे आ जाते हैं, which is COVID-19. Now why it's very practical? Because this is the need of the hour we need to talk about. कि COVID-19 और tribal communities के बीच में क्या actual relation और क्या status है. So for that, okay, now you can see two sides of your screen. One is the left hand side, which is written something, and the other is right hand side, which contains an image. This image are taken from Down to Earth. Down to Earth is a good website to trust to. And this image, all these figures have been last taken on May 24, 2021. This is the recent most figure which I was able to find. So the figure talks about the shifting geography of the COVID cases. You can have a look at it. आपको समझ में आएगा कि मैं इस बारे में क्यों बात कर रही हूँ. Now let's just come towards the left hand side of the screen, which talks about that in 2020, COVID-19 reached 2 Odisha tribes, and both of these tribes were in Malkagiri district. Now it's a very बहुत ही ज़्यादा क्वेश्चनेबल सिचुएशन है कि ट्राइब्स जो कि मेन स्ट्रीम सोसाइटी में रहती नहीं है, तो उनके पास में कोविड कैसे रीच हुआ. उनके पास में अब कुछ एक्सपेक्टेड आंसर्स जो कि मिले हैं, कुछ ऐसा हार्ड एंड फास्ट नहीं है कि मतलब यही हुआ होगा. कुछ एक्सपेक्टेड आंसर्स जो मिले हैं, दोज वर दैट दे मूव टुवर्ड्स द अदर आउटसाइड देयर कम्युनिटीज फॉर माइग्रेशन पर्पसेस. वो अपनी कम्युनिटी से बाहर गए माइग्रेशन के लिए. एंड माइग्रेशन क्यों करने गए? ताकि उनको वहां पे जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल सके या लाइवलीहुड मिल सके. सो दैट्स व्हाई दे वेंट ओवर देयर. And or else these tribes have a kind of practice which they follow, which is visiting the rural markets, because उनको भी चीजें खरीदनी होती है, तो they visit rural markets and they go outside the tribal communities. So these Odisha tribes, कौन सी Odisha tribes थी? One was Bonda and the other one's Didai. In total there were 6 people who were tested positive in 2020. 5 of them were from Didai and 1 was from Bonda. And then of course, there is another tribe, which is Great Andamanis, which is there in the Strait Island of Andaman and Nicobar Island. They have only one person over there was tested to be positive. Now, how did we actually got to understand that they were tested positive? Because, as I mentioned earlier, they actually took up government jobs and visit the capitals. And when they visited Port Blair, which is the capital, तो वहाँ पे वो गए and then they were tested over there, and then they were found to be positive. After that, government ने बहुत अच्छे से strategy अपनाई, and then they went over in those areas where they actually live in and talked about COVID with them and did the testing for them. Okay, now what is government doing, or what government did up till now to tackle with the situations related to the corona in tribal communities? Now there is one thing in our let's say constitution, which is particularly vulnerable tribal communities or vulnerable tribal groups. What happens over here is there is one thing known as tribal communities and other one thing is known as particularly vulnerable tribal communities. Now this actual terminology, particularly vulnerable tribal communities, ye kaise aayi? There was a commission in 1960-61 which was the Bar Commission. So the Bar Commission mein kya hua tha? They actually categorize certain tribal communities to be particularly vulnerable. Now, why were they talked to be as vulnerable? Because of their physical isolation, or let's say their literacy rate, or their practices or pre-agricultural practices, or howsoever practice they follow. So there were certain factors given, certain parameters given by this particular commission, to which actually categorize them as particularly vulnerable tribal communities. अब क्या हुआ, ये पर्टिकुलरली वनरेबल ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज जो है हमारे पास में 75 हैं टोटल अभी के हिसाब से. This is what you say, a stats which doesn't actually change by time, but actually changes whenever it's required for the betterment of the tribal communities. अब everybody knows about NHRC, which is National Human Rights Commission. तो उन्होंने एक what you say एक कमेटी बिठाई, उसने एक रिपोर्ट लिखी, and that actually talks about the COVID-19 related implementation we are required to do in the tribal areas. Now, why did we did it? Because India ने adopt करा है UN Declaration on the Rights of Rights of Indigenous People. Because India ने sign करा है, so it's our duty to actually follow and take steps with respect to this to protect the rights of the tribal communities in India. And of course, India has also ratified the ILO Convention number 107. So that also talks about the similar kind of nature. So in dono ke under, it's our duty, it's India's duty to come up with such kind of reports and such committees which actually deal with situation of these kind. Now there on June 3rd, there was a report by NHRC. You can find the same report on NHRC's website, which now I have categorized the report in certain heads. Now certain heads, what are these heads? The first head is actionable recommendation on containment and preventive measures. ऐसी क्या हम किस तरीके का एक्शन ले सकते हैं ताकि प्रिवेंशन हो पाए ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज का और वहां पे कोविड ज्यादा ना फैले. सो रिपोर्ट में एक हेड ये भी है जिसके बारे में सजेशंस दिए गए हैं, इसके बारे में बताया गया है. The next head to talk about is actionable recommendation on clinical management. Now, what is clinical management? Clinical management is very simple. It's just कि हम कितनी medical services और किस amount में medical services इन areas में पहुंचाने चाहिए और किस तरह से उनके progress होनी चाहिए. That talks about actionable recommendation on clinical management. The next to talk about is actionable recommendation on community engagement and social awareness. Of course, अब आपको उनको समझाना भी पड़ेगा कि COVID है क्या. What is corona and why is it important for us to be prevented from that? So for that, there have been certain suggestions given by NHRC for that. The next head is actionable recommendation to protect other human rights, which talks about social, economic, and cultural. अब कोविड को प्रोटेक्ट करते करते हम बाकी ह्यूमन राइट्स ना भूल जाए, इसका भी हमको ध्यान रखना है. NHRC ने एक बहुत ही कंप्लीटली अमेजिंग रिपोर्ट बनाई है मेरी आइज के अंदर कि हमको हर एक ऐसी चीज करनी है जिससे उनका कहीं पे भी बुरा ना हो. इनफैक्ट वी कैन ओनली गो फॉर गुड, राइट. द नेक्स्ट head is monitoring of implementation of the advisory. Now there have been advisory, you will be understanding it in the next slides and I'll be talking about that. abhi bata diya to shayad sab samajh mein nahi hai. Okay, now these are certain pointers which have been given by NHRC. I have summarized, there is a 6-page PDF on the NHRC website. I have tried to summarize as short as I can so that you can also understand everything and of course आपको वो रिपोर्ट पढ़ने का शायद जरूरत भी ना पड़े अगर आप ये सब चीजें समझ गए. The very first thing to talk about over here is actionable recommendation on contamination and preventive measures. Okay. Actionable recommendation on contaminate and preventive measures. हमको ये इंश्योर करना है कि COVID-19 की टेस्टिंग टाइमली हो और टाइमली रिपोर्ट आए. अब ये इम्पोर्टेंट क्यों है? ऑफ कोर्स यू एंड मी वेरी वेल नो कि कोविड कितना इजीली फैल जाता है. इट गेट्स स्प्रेड ओवर फॉर एरियाज अननोइंगली वी समटाइम्स स्प्रेड इट और लेट्स से हमको पता भी नहीं होता कि हमारे नेग्लिजेंट बिहेवियर की वजह से वो स्प्रेड हो जाता है. So it's the duty of the government and this committee has actually recommendation to ensure that कोविड की टेस्टिंग सही से हो और टाइमली रिपोर्ट्स आए. हमको वैक्सीनेशन भी अश्योर करना है. Vaccination, there have been a target given. It's just a target. It can vary depending on strategies हम क्या follow कर रहे हैं और हमारा environment हमको क्या strategies follow करने के लिए दे रखा है. So there has been a target given of 60 days by sending medicinal teams to ensure vaccination in all these PVTGs. The next to talk about is ensuring supply of COVID-19 medicinal kit. Now there is a COVID-19 medicinal kit we all know about. इसकी supply ensure करना हमारी और हमारी as in the government's duty. It's recommended by the NHRC to do so. Next to talk about is introducing strict mechanism to monitor any entry or exit. Now, when there was the Orissa tribe 2020 incident when they were tested COVID positive, तो उस टाइम पे गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत क्विकली वहां के बॉर्डर सील कर दिए थे। वो क्यों कर दिए थे? ताकि कोविड के कोई भी कांटेक्ट में आया हुआ इंसान बॉर्डर से बाहर ना जाए और ये चीज बाहर ना फैले। That was the actual reason behind it. The next two header to talk about is about the actionable recommendation of clinical management, यानी कि हमको कुछ set of dedicated nurses चाहिए, doctors चाहिए, कुछ paramedic staff चाहिए जो इन सब चीजों को ensure कर सके कि इन सब का treatment हो, who all are to be treated with COVID-19 can actually be treated nicely and effectively. The next header to talk about actionable recommendation, community engagement and social awareness, यानी कि वी हैव टू एंश्योर कि हम उनको बताएं कि कोविड क्या होता है और कोविड जो होता है उसको स्प्रेडिंग को किस तरह से रोकना है। It's our, or let's say the government's duty to make them understand because they are not very much familiar. It's very new thing to them. हमको तो अब पता चल गया क्योंकि 1 साल से हम ये चीज समझते आ रहे हैं, तो अब हमारे माइंड में क्लियर है ये नहीं करना है क्योंकि इससे कोरोना हो सकता है। But they don't know, so it's our duty to make them understand that okay, this thing needs to be done. Next to talk about is monitoring of implementation of the advisory. Of course, advisory यानी कि हमको RT-PCR टेस्ट को करवाना है एंड प्रायोरिटी में रखकर करवाना है ताकि जो छोटी कम्युनिटीज हैं उनमें ज्यादा वो ना फैले। एंड ऑफ कोर्स टारगेट दिया गया 60 डेज का टारगेट है, चेंज हो सकता है, वेरी हो सकता है डिपेंडिंग ऑन वेरियस सर्कमस्टांसेस। The next head to talk about over here is actionable recommendation to protect other human rights, which is of course social, economic, cultural. अब हमको ये ensure करना है कि उनके अभी तक के जो भी protected rights हैं, whether that be economical or their what you say right to food, right to live, इन कोई भी चीज effect ना हो, हम अब जो भी implementation कर रहे हैं उसके चलते। Okay. तो उसके लिए कुछ स्टेप्स दिए गए हैं कि हमको इंश्योर करना है कि हम डोर स्टेप डिलीवरी कराएं, फ्री राशन की टू देयर हाउस होल्ड्स, मॉनेटरी ट्रांसफर ऑफ कैश। ये थ्योरेटिकल है, यू कैन हैव अ लुक एट इट, बट इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट। व्हाई इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट बिकॉज उनके लिए सब नया है एंड अगर उनको नए के अंदर ही बहुत ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन हो जाएगा, दे वोंट बी हैप्पी, तो ऑफ कोर्स एनीथिंग कैन गो रॉन्ग। Okay, so and of course tribal, we have malnourished children, lactating and pregnant women, which need to be specially taken care of. The next to talk about is how are we going to ensure that their livelihood are protected, their right to livelihood is protected. This can only be done when we actually give them the opportunity in their households that of course whatever products they're producing staying in their households will be taken by the government and be let's say purchased by the government so that they can also be given cash in their hand to live their daily life. Okay, now we talk about right to education, skill upliftment and miscellaneous interventions. Now right to education जो है वो there are a lot of tribal communities जहाँ के बच्चे बाहर जाते हैं पढ़ने के लिए, तो हमको ये इंश्योर करना है यानी कि गवर्नमेंट को इंश्योर करना है कि आफ्टर दिस कोविड एरा, आफ्टर दिस पर्टिकुलर कोविड एरा, जब वो बाहर जा पाएंगे तब उनको स्कॉलरशिप मिल सकेगी टू स्टडी आउटसाइड। वी हैव टू मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड कि हाँ आपको मिल जाएगी, यू नीड नॉट टू वरी अबाउट ऑल दीज थिंग्स। नहीं तो अगर वो वरी करेंगे तो वरी कैन डू अ लॉट मोर बैड देन गुड फॉर एनीबडी। नेक्स्ट टू टॉक अबाउट इज एक्सेस टू एसेंशियल स्टेशनरीज। जो वहाँ के बच्चे हैं जो भी पढ़ रहे हैं, हाँ एक्चुअली में वहाँ पे बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जो पढ़ रहे हैं, वो आर एक्चुअली स्टडिंग ऑनलाइन, तो उनके लिए स्टेशनरीज होना जरूरी है वहाँ पे ताकि वो सही से पढ़ पाए। Then we have skill development through focus on tribal handicraft and skills. Of course, this is a very well explained line on its own. Then there is a very much need of a special 24/7 helpline in the district control room for COVID-19 related concerns. Now they're very new to it, as I mentioned, उनको पता ही नहीं है क्या होता है, तो of course उनको किसी का जरूरत पड़ेगी to actually recommend them stuff कि अगर ऐसा होता है तो क्या करना है, ऐसा होता है तो क्या करना है, right? Now इन सब चीजों को समझ के हमारी एनालिसिस क्या बनी। Now for that I'll be needing inputs from everybody around here कि हमारी एनालिसिस क्या है। एनालिसिस से हम ये समझ सकते हैं कि अभी तक हमने क्या समझा, या फिर हमको क्या लगता है कि कहाँ कहाँ पे करेक्शंस होने चाहिए और कहाँ कहाँ पे करेक्शंस नहीं होने चाहिए in whatever we have dealt with so far. Anybody would like to take a lead? You can unmute or drop your text in the chat box, जैसा भी आपको पसंद आए. अच्छा, मैं अगर अपनी एनालिसिस के बारे में बात करूं तो मैंने क्या समझा इससे, मैंने ये समझा है कि COVID-19 is a very important concern and for everybody and for us as a nation, we have to talk about it. We have to talk about the COVID-19 regulations with the tribal communities we have in India. Now, why we have to talk about this? हमको इसके बारे में बात करनी चाहिए क्योंकि they are a part of our nation. And if they are a part of nation, it's our duty. सिर्फ government की duty नहीं है. अगर if you also know somebody from the tribal communities, it's your duty as well to make them understand, to make them ensure, to make them feel secured कि हाँ, we are here to help you out. आप चिंता मत करो, इससे डरने की बात नहीं है. We are here to help you out. Okay, I have a question. What are the tribal rights to land? Okay, tribal rights to land, as I talked about the constitutional provisions in my previous slide. If you want, I'll show it to you again. Give me a minute. Okay. So there are certain rights given in the Article 19(5). You can take a screenshot of it. Chalega, no issues. You can have a look at it after the session gets over as well. So there are certain rights given in 19(5) or Article 19+5 of the Indian Constitution, which talks about कि right to acquire land or dispose land in special interest of STs, यानी कि जो STs हैं, जो हमारी scheduled tribe communities हैं, उनके areas में हम कुछ भी intervention ना करें. अब एक डॉक्ट्रिन है, डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ एमिनेंट डोमेन, वो एक अलग कंसेप्ट है. वो कंसेप्ट इज अबाउट दैट स्टेट इन द पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट कैन ऑफ कोर्स एक्वायर लैंड्स. अब पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट की डेफिनेशन अलग अलग केस लॉज के हिसाब से अलग अलग हुई है. जैसे वी कैन समटाइम्स से कि जो नर्मदा बचाओ आंदोलन था, विच वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट कि वो पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट में है या नहीं. देयर वाज अ वेरी बिग क्वेश्चन ओवर देयर. तो वहां पे what happened was that it was considered out to be one of the public interest. Dam construction over there was considered out to be one of the public interest, क्योंकि as a nation it's very important कि हम ये समझे कि एक कम्युनिटी का राइट प्रोटेक्ट करना हाँ सही है, बट एक चीज होती है पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट या फिर नेशनल इंटरेस्ट, उसको भी हमको समझना और ध्यान रखना इज वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट. नेक्स्ट टू टॉक अबाउट इज ऑफ कोर्स कि वहां पे anything disturb tribal by Article 15. I'm really sorry, I'm unable to understand your question. Galaxy A20, can you please elaborate a little? Anything disturb tribal by Article 1511, मतलब क्या होगा इसका? Okay, I'll just, you can type it down there in the chat box. I'll just continue this thing. कि there are certain areas. अब वो areas कहाँ पे होते हैं? Usually the forest related area जहाँ पे हमको ज़्यादा mineral ores मिलती है. So sometimes for industry setup we have to mandatorily take the land from tribals. Now क्यों? क्योंकि हमको development भी करना है, हमको पूरा nation का भी सोचना है, community का right भी protect करना है. That's very important. But nation का सोचना भी गलत नहीं है. तो these are certain activities जिसकी वजह से sometimes the tribal rights of land are challenged, but of course हमारी judiciary is confident enough and they are the right person to talk to कि जो interpret कर पाए ये actually में हमारे लिए national interest का matter है या नहीं. Okay, so I am waiting for your question to be elaborated a little. Okay. Ma'am, I have read somewhere that main problem with tribal people is they do not consider education as necessary since tribal people are poor and live in a remote place. They are not very aware of education. Education appears to be luxury for them and they do not feel urged to educate their children. Is it true? Yes, ma'am. देखो, बात यहाँ पे tribal, we can't generalize tribal communities that who do not. Now, if you know about, there is a place in Madhya Pradesh, that is Jhabua district, that majorly deals with the deals with, as in most of the people over there are from tribal communities. So most of them are tribes. They are right now, actually they are studying, and I can say this because I have been in contact with them. I've been in very good, keen contact with them, and I'm very clear on the idea that of course some people, अब हमारे बीच में भी कितने बच्चे होते हैं, हमारी क्लास में भी कितने बच्चे होते हैं who do not like study. They like to go for other activities, जैसे sports हो गया या फिर कुछ और art related activities हो गया. So it's not about education, it's about कि उन बच्चों को क्या पसंद आ रहा है. There are a lot of tribal बच्चे जो वहां से बाहर निकलकर बाहर पढ़ने भी आते हैं. तो we can't generalize this concept कि उनको education पसंद ही नहीं है. They of course want to educate their children. Of course they want to be educated. Now this differs from person to person. A person की belief में मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता, और anybody can't do anything other than just making them understand. So there are people who are going outside for study, and those people who are not liking study are preferring to go for handicraft या ऐसी कुछ skills जो उनको future में employment generation के काम में आएगी. Okay, next question is, tribal people aren't that much aware of land revenue codes and everything. Because you can say this thing because they are not that much exposed to the areas or let's say the governmental things we are having right now. क्योंकि उनको एक्सपोजर है नहीं तो उनको पता नहीं है, बल्कि लेकिन वहाँ पे काफी सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो एक्सपोज्ड हैं, who are in a condition to actually understand कि उनके लिए क्या सही है क्या गलत है. Okay, next question is 1511 says no discrimination among people, then why lack of facilities tribal? बात ये है कि there is nothing known as lack of facilities. The only thing we need to talk about over is कि हम facilities वहाँ पे पहुँचा नहीं पा रहे. हम वहाँ पे क्यों नहीं पहुंचा पा रहे? बिकॉज दे लिव इन दोज काइंड ऑफ एरियाज. वहाँ पे या तो ये सब चीजें हम स्टैब्लिश करने में बहुत डिफिकल्टी आ रही है, या फिर वी आर इन अ कंडीशन कि वहाँ पे वो फैसिलिटीज पहुंच ही नहीं पा रही. इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज कि क्या कहते हैं फैसिलिटीज है नहीं, फैसिलिटीज है, पर वहाँ पे पहुंचना इज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट थिंग. एंड वहाँ पे पहुंचना भी तब ज्यादा अच्छे से फ्रूटफुल हो पाएगा when somebody among the tribal communities go in and actually work towards it, because उनको वहाँ का एरिया का ज्यादा नॉलेज है, rather than me going and talking over them. अच्छा ठीक है यहाँ पे ये सेटअप कर दें, but they themselves know कि यहाँ पे ये सेटअप करना सही है या नहीं. And they are very friendly people. I am really telling this. I know a lot of tribal people. I have been in contact with a few of them abhi ke hisab se. So they are very friendly. So they talk over related concerns. Okay, what are the thing or situation that tribal are afraid of? There is actually nothing which we can say that they are afraid of. मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा कि why we are having this question कि that they are afraid of something. There is nothing, anything कि कुछ भी नहीं है ऐसा कि जिसकी वजह से वो अफ्रेड होंगे. वो बहुत ज्यादा हमसे बहुत ज्यादा डेवलप्ड है. उनके पास में वो मेडिसिन हैं जो कि हमारे पास में नहीं है, और वो उनको अभी से नहीं मिली है, वो उनकी एंसेस्ट्रल नॉलेज है. हमको पता भी नहीं है वो कितनी ईयर से वो सब चीजें यूज करते आ रहे हैं. Okay, basic needs should be provided by government in even up some tribes having no basic needs. Okay, now basic needs is of course थोड़ा controversial term है, क्योंकि मेरे लिए जो basic needs है वो आपके लिए basic needs नहीं है. अगर आप basic needs बोल रहे हो कि food और let's say water, इन सबको आप basic needs में, education को आप basic needs में consider कर रहे हो, तो of course government has provided them. And if this is your analysis, तो ठीक है, I'm considering it out to be a point. The question is, problems related to tribals is that they lack communication gap with other that force them directly or indirectly to enjoy such services that we people enjoy. The mode of communication should be made easier for them in order to help them join the mainstream and get invoked by enjoy all the facilities. I think the lack of communication, the communication gap is the mainstream. Okay, right. So, Achad, is this your analysis? If this is your analysis, I am okay, very happy about your analysis. But I have a question for you over here. कि communication gap एक तो हो सकता है लिंग्विस्टिक, ठीक है, और एक हो सकता है रिसोर्सेज के तरफ से. तो रिसोर्सेज की तरफ से आई डोंट थिंक सो कोई कम्युनिकेशन गैप है, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट या फिर जो एनजीओ, जो वॉलंटरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी इसके लिए वर्क कर रही है, वो अपने खुद के ऑफिसर्स को, अपने खुद के लोगों को उन रीजन्स में भेजती है टू टॉक. एंड बिलीव मी, मैंने खुद ने ये चीज, आई हैव बीन एसोसिएटेड बाय वन ऑफ द I have been associated by some person. He's working very keenly. अभी भी कोरोना टाइम में he's working towards the tribal, क्या कहते हैं, tribal related areas. जहाँ पे there is a very important need for the communication. So they are tribal people are not afraid. They are, of course, उनकी खुद की belief है, वो अपनी belief में believe कर रहे हैं. That's a respectable thing. But they are not afraid of anything, or I don't think so that they have any kind of communication here. जितने लोगों से मैं मिली हूँ, मेरा experience तो ये नहीं कहता. But of course, if you might have talked to somebody, so I'm not really sure on that. Okay. Yes, are Adivasis and tribal to have same culture and custom? Okay, Adivasi and tribals. ये जो दो terms है अपने आदिवासी and tribals. Adivasis usually are those people जो कि आदिकाल से रहते हैं, और tribals are those people जो अपने natural habitat में खुश हैं. अब आपको समझ में आया कि उन दोनों में difference क्या है, उनके cultural custom को हम क्यों question out कर रहे हैं? I hope so. I really solve your query by just answering this thing कि उन दोनों के terms में difference क्या है. If there are no question, I think ma'am is here. And it's actually 1 o'clock. I'm really sorry, ma'am, for dragging the session so sorry.
No, ma'am, not for ragging. It was extremely interactive session, and I thank you for sharing all the information that is extremely helpful for everyone. Now I request our academic coordinator, Mrs. Monica Carola, ma'am, for the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Mriganshi. Acha, okay. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so today we have had a young person who has been working with tribals and got her opinion about how tribal rights are there and how they need to be protected. Like we know that the tribals, they have their own culture, their customs, and the participants very well interacted by giving their responses to the questions that were put. And they need to be protected because they are like a heritage to the country. They are the people who have protected our intellectual properties, and they have the knowledge which can be utilized. But as being susceptible in this developing world, they need to be assisted by giving them inputs in regard to education, healthcare, and other resources, so that like Yugal Kishore sir, who began that they have to be mainstreamed. And it is important because these people are to be protected. And like we saw the examples which were given relating to the COVID situation, especially in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, we have had issues relating to the COVID scenario being taken because of presence of outsiders. So there is a need to protect tribals and our Adivasis from encroachment, not only by people, but even encroachment in the sense that we may be taking diseases and other things to these communities because they have not been exposed to the outside environment, and because of which they are more vulnerable than us. So it needs very careful handling. They have their own culture, their own customs, and our constitution is great in the sense that it talks about protection of all people, and especially those who are in special need of this protection. Therefore, we have our scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, special prevention measures and protection measures which are in place in relation to giving them employment opportunities, because they have not been in the education system for a long time, and it will take time for them to come up to the level and be equal among what Article 14 says, equality among equals. So there is this important need to make them stronger, and in terms of education and in terms of resources, both the central government and state governments have worked hand in hand to protect our tribal communities. Even the encroachment in forest and protection of their livelihoods is important. So with this and the experiences shared by Ms. Ananya Trivedi, we are happy to say that It has been a session which will make us think about these tribals and how we can, interact with them better and know about their problems and try to, be empathetic towards their needs and desires. So thank you, Ananya, for coming here and sharing your experiences with us. Thank you, Mriganshi and Divakar, for this webinar. And I thank Professor Dr. Yugal Kishore, Dean Sir, for helping and encouraging all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So now we can. So now we can close down. I'm very much grateful to madam that she has shared her views as well as her experiences before us with regards to the tribals and their and especially which we were not knowing with regards to the COVID-19 situation, because this is new to us. We were not aware of this. Okay, thank you very much, madam. So now I think we can close it, madam.
Yes.
Mriganshi, we can
Thank
close
you,
it.
everyone.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So we can